are having their own farm in campus, a farm that was named after the former acting Dean of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, the late Omar Jallo. The aim of the farm is to complement their student activities. They had a farm in Kanilai but had to abandon it due to the transportation constraints. Alkali Diba, president of the Student Union, believes the country cannot survive without agriculture, and most importantly, to help the needy ones.
The proceeds of it is expected to be plowed back to our student reimbursement fund to support needy students and to sponsor some of our major programs like UTG ambassadors. The programs such as the Leadership Week, we call it Students Week. These are the major student activity in our UTG student calendar. And we should not all the time bake in at various corporations or departments. We thought it wise we should take ownership of our own union. We should raise funds for ourselves. This is why we are motivated this year to have our own farm and see as a pilot project what will come out of it. And hopefully we are very optimistic that we will have a very good year, inshallah.
He further thanked NARI for their unflinching support in sponsoring the whole project. State Matijau, Secretary General of the UTG Students Union, spoke on their future plans for the farm.
We've been thinking of going into other farm produce like growing onions and stuff, but you know we need a pilot project, and this is a pilot project. Before we used to go to Kanilai and then cultivate. We have a land. The president gave us a land there, but we look at our financial constraints, so we said this time we cannot. Let us use our backyard, and this is what we're doing. But in the some time to come, we'll be going into other activities such as onion production and other horticultural products.
The Deputy Minister of Agriculture at the UTG, Badu Mendy, says whilst farming is seen as the business of the poor in the Gambia, the situation is a different story in the advanced world. He urged Gambian youth to consider farming as a profession and to strive towards majoring in agriculture at university level. For the international students, this endeavor is another wonderful experience that is worth participating.
Oh, it's been really, really good. I mean, we first came this morning, we didn't even really know what rice was. The first thing was they were just showing us, this is rice and this is a weed. And so like we'd start at the end just working our way down a row, and the Gambians would be like, 20 feet in front of us because they're so fast, and we're like sitting here pulling it up like one by one. But we got the hang of it, and they were all like really, really nice about it and showing us. So it's just something we've never done before, so it was a great experience.
The union will also embark on tree planting activity at Faraba Banta campus on September 21st, 2011, and also a day's weeding at H.E.'s farm in Kanilai, the 24th September 2011. President of the union therefore urged all students for such extracurricular activities. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Mohammed Kar, in his speech earlier, appealed to the general public to help invest in youth education due to the low enrollment rate at the university. He further urged Gambians to help sponsor students to enable them to attain quality university education. For GRTS News, I am Fatuka Marekebe.
You are also reminded that you can follow the day's stories and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll go for our short break. The news continues right after.
Ay Gamcel defaati nañ Gamcel ñëwaati na abe bi jàng léppam ci biir Gamcel yaay borom jënd crédit xoos dugal mën nga cee win lu ne képp ku yeewoo Gambia may ma sa nopp ma di la a jëndal ñu scratch card bu Gamcel a jëndal ñu xanaa gisal lu ñu defati jëndal ñu ay xanaa gisal lu ñu waxati a jëndal ñu ay xanaa gisal fu ñu génne nooy la def ni buuj la def ay waay jëndal ñu bu ñaar fukki dalasi jëndal ñu mën nga win airtime
Welcome back. Libya's new government is trying to isolate and flush out small pockets of Gaddafi loyalists. There are reports of Gaddafi troops pouring into Bani Walid and the sound of gunfire and explosions inside the city. We have more on the fierce battle to capture the few remaining cities that are still loyal to the ousted leader in this CNN report.
The rebels told us the town of Barak was safe, but it wasn't. We're in this town that is partially under the control of the rebels, but there are other parts of it that still remain loyal to Muammar Gaddafi. Obviously, it's a situation very fluid at the moment. Opposition fighters entered Barak Thursday morning, part of an offensive to gain control of the last loyalist strongholds in the south around the city of Sabha. Before the gun battle took place, it seemed peaceful enough. Iraq resident Masoud Hasnawi, a self-confessed revolutionary, pointed out to me all the parts of town that still supported Gaddafi. It seemed like most of it. But those here opposed to Gaddafi hate him with a passion. Sabha native Elamin Ishtawi burned the first books by the deposed leader he could get his hands on, then shot up his likeness and stomped on it. He returned just a few weeks ago from studying banking and finance in the UK to join the revolution. He's looking forward to going back to Sabha.
It's my hometown. For 3 years I don't been to Sabha. This is my first time we need to go to Sabha. I'm homesick for Sabha.
Outside the Barak air base, the second largest in southern Libya, an inferno of exploding munitions. Opposition fighters captured the base Wednesday night, but incoming rockets ignited thousands of artillery rounds buried underground. Inside the base, dozens of boxes with Soviet-era SA-14 surface-to-air missiles stored in the base's prison. Casualties among the opposition fighters have been relatively light. Resistance half-hearted, commanders say.
They are just running. When they see us, they just run like rats.
They've taken several prisoners. Abu Azum Sakar has been handcuffed to an unloaded machine gun in the back of a pickup truck. He told me most of the people in the area are still with Gaddafi. As for him, he said he's with whoever brings back electricity and water. Reinforcements are pouring into Barak from around Libya, pickup after pickup of fighters, amassing for, perhaps, the final showdown. Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Barak, southern Libya.
And before we take leave of you, a recap of our headline-making stories. The President and other members of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council Friday called on the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Njie Saidi. Thousands of unqualified teachers are capitalizing on the summer break to dust off and strengthen their teaching skills in two core subjects, English and mathematics. Senior members of Libya's National Transitional Council are set to visit Niamey to convince Niger to hand over one of Colonel Gaddafi's sons, Sadi. And soldiers loyal to the ousted Libyan leader are putting up stiff resistance. These government troops continue to close in on Gaddafi's hometown of Sirte. And you are also reminded that you can also follow these stories and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. And with that, we come to the end of this edition of the news. Thanks for keeping us company, and do have a pleasant weekend.
xalaat bokk na ci li gën a soxal doomi aadama xalaat pour jokkoo ngir sa business wala lu la itteel wala jokkook say soppe. FIG bureau de change ñu ngi fii ngir gis ne jokkoo boobu am na. te léegi suñ banking hall bu ees bi nekk ci Kairaba Avenue